what is stopping you from starting? Is it your health? Is it work stress? Is it family commitments? Or is it that you're waiting for everything to perfectly line up before you start making yourself a priority? Because what I've learned both on my own journey, but also with all of the people that I've worked with, the perfect time doesn't exist. And if you're waiting for that perfect time, then you'll be waiting forever. So today I want to go into why that right time doesn't exist, and to hopefully show you that you don't need 100% to make progress. So all the time when I'm speaking to people, I'll hear things like, I can't start at the moment because I got a health condition going on. I can't commit because work is too demanding, there's too much going on. I can't go to the gym when it's busy and there's too many people around. And I get it, because these are like real obstacles and they are like barriers that stop you from wanting to make a start. But they're also excuses. They're the rational reasons for your deeper fears, your deeper reasons for not starting. They're just convenient excuses. And it's not that they're not valid, because they are valid reasons, but you're using them as reasons to do nothing rather than as a reason to do something. And I won't lie, I did the exact same thing. So with my story around the testosterone levels, now 18 months ago, I knew that they weren't where they should have been. I knew the issues were there. I knew that, well, I felt that I hadn't really progressed in the gym in terms of how I was looking for ages, but also knowing that my levels weren't where they should be. I know I let that stop myself from pushing as much as I could have done in the gym, as much as I could have been more on track with what I was eating. I let the excuse, the thinking that my testosterone is lower, so even though I could do some little things to improve, it's not worth trying because I can't get to 100% of where I could be. So then I thought that it's not worth trying at all. I let those things become my excuse. I thought like my body isn't allowing me to get to all the way that I want to be. So what's the point of trying at all? And guess what? My training got worse. My nutrition, I definitely wasn't paying as much attention as I could have been, or trying to do what I can to control that. And in general, I just stopped showing up with the same intensity. And this might sound familiar to you. I had things that I couldn't control, and I decided that it meant that I shouldn't be trying at all, or it's not worth trying to do what I can. And that definitely kept me stuck for a long time. But why I'm so passionate about this is seeing what Toby has been through with his health. Again, no fault of his own. The condition that he's got, going from a fit and healthy lad to now in a wheelchair and like being fully dependent on other people. You cannot be taking your health for granted. The right time will never be there. And like I always say, your health is the thing that underlies literally everything else that you do. And then more acutely with my own health, yes, firstly the testosterone, also with the issues with the walking, what I have been working on in terms of what the physios recommended, and also just like my own training, I know that it's helping. And it's almost like the fear that if I don't keep doing the things that I'm doing, then they're only going to get worse, and I just can't let that happen. So this is just as much me speaking to myself, because I know that I need to hear it, because I don't think about, or sometimes I'll let my own things slip from time to time. But seeing what Toby's been through, and then also my own issues that are there, that's why I'm trying to like reinforce this both in my mind, but then also to the people that I'm speaking to, because most people will never get into the situation or have to deal with the things that like myself and Toby have been experiencing. But if you have your health, you have the opportunity to do something about it, even if it's not perfect, then you have to use that. Like, I can't control the testosterone levels, the suspected neurological condition that I might have. There's no like confirmed diagnosis for it. And again, I'm doing what I can, but I can't control those things. But what I can control is my effort. I can control my training, the intensity that I'm putting in, my nutrition, what I'm eating. I can control just getting my daily activity and keeping my daily activity levels up. And about a month ago, like you might know, I got my own coach, and that has been a game changer for me in terms of remembering that I don't need to be 100% perfect to make progress. I've been controlling the things that I can control with the training, with the nutrition, with everything else, and surprise, surprise, I can see visible progress from when I started to now. And it's just that reminder to me that you don't need conditions to be 100% perfect to make a start or to keep pushing as hard as you could. You need to do as much as you can. There will always be limitations. They might restrict you to 80% of your maximum. Just work at 100% within whatever your like limit or like perceived limit is, because that's all you can really do. So now let's break this down, because it's like the most important thing that you should be focusing on. It's always that internal locus of control. I've heard somewhere, like just it's that internal control the controllables. You can't control everything that's going on in life with your health, but you have a certain set of things that you can do that you can control, like your effort, how hard you're pushing yourself in the gym, like with your nutrition, what you eat, how much protein you're hitting, making sure that you're in that calorie deficit, your consistency, your sleep, your priorities, making sure you're focusing on what you need to focus on. Now, the things that you can't control your genetics. Your genetics are pretty much, I know you can do things to change them, but certain conditions you cannot change. Certain things within your health are outside of your control. You can do a lot to help with that, and for a lot of conditions, doing the right things in terms of diet and exercise and all of that will often help them. But certain things with your health, they're set in stone. You can't change them, so you can't obsess over those things. You also can't control, like with your work, you might have some level of control, but often you can't control how busy it gets. You have things thrown at you that you think you can't deal with. Maybe it's how busy the gym is when it gets to 6 p.m. and that's like the only time of day that you have to train. Yes, it's annoying, but that doesn't need to be an excuse that you can let stop yourself from doing something, because even if you can go in there, do a 50%, a 5 out of 10 workout, you can still make progress on that. Anything above 0 is going to compound, so just focus on controlling what you can. And what you also can't control is your past. You can't control the mistakes that you've made in the past, the time that you've lost. But stop caring about those things that you can't control. Accept that they're there, but don't let them be the reason that you don't do what you can to help your situation. Just focus on controlling those controllables that you have control over, and that's all you can do. As long as you know that you're doing what you can within the circumstances that you're in, you can easily 100% still make progress from that place. Yes, maybe you have a health condition that's affecting your hormone levels, that is affecting what you're getting out of your training. Maybe you have like an uncertain diagnosis or an uncertain operation that's maybe coming up, that once X happens you won't be able to do your training for a certain period of time, or whatever that is. That's fine, but you can still move, you can still get your protein in, you can still do the things that make you feel better, just help you make that little bit of progress. Let's say you don't have time for an hour-long workout in the gym, that's fine, just do 20 minutes. Find the small pockets in your day, because you do have time. It's just about, maybe it's about reworking your priorities. Again, you need to remember why you're trying to do what you're trying to do. Regardless, there is always the things that you can control that are going to get you further ahead, hopefully like to where you want to be, but like at least close to that, just by controlling the simple things that you can control. It's never going to be about the perfect conditions to make the change. That right time will never be there, but it's just about doing what you can with what you have, and that's ultimately like all you can really do. Anyway, bottom line, that right time is never going to come. You're waiting for your work to calm down. You're waiting for your health to be perfect, for life to calm down, so you have permission to focus on yourself. That day will never exist. Work is always going to be busy. Your health is always going to have issues cropping up here and there. You're always going to have things going on, but you have to work around that and just accept that you don't need 100%. You need a steady 70, 80% ideally that you can sustain over the long period of time. And the ones who get results and sustain those results, they're not the ones with the perfect conditions. Like some people, yes, they will have like perceived better conditions than you might have, but they're the ones that accepted that life is going to be messy, that the right time isn't going to be there. You don't have to do it perfectly, but you're doing it anyway. And this is just me kind of speaking from personal experience, but also from like speaking with other people and listening to other people, because obviously getting one workout in is better than no workout. 1 week of just focusing on the basics with your nutrition, hitting your protein, getting your calories down slightly is better than thinking, I'll just wait until life calms down and then I can start making a change. Because progress is never about being perfect. It's just focusing on the controllables and what you can do. And that is how you can stick to your plan and make it sustainable over the long term. So you really have a choice. You could let these things, these excuses be there. You can let them stop you from making that change in your health, from doing the right things, from doing as much as you could to change things. You can keep using them as reasons to stop you. Ultimately, it comes down to how much you want to reach that goal. Obviously, you probably have a goal in mind of like where you want to be, and then what's getting in between where you are and that goal of your dream state is all the excuses, all the friction, all the little things, all the obstacles that you have to go through on the way to get there. You have to want that end goal enough. Roadblocks are always going to be there from start to finish. They might mean that you can't quite get the perfect results that you want, but you can definitely get there, even if it's messy along the way, even if you're working through things. So just remind yourself of why you want to get to that end result. Remind yourself of why you wanted to make that change in the first place. Always keep that in mind, and just accept that you can still make progress without needing to be 100% perfect, because like I've said, the right time in life will never be there, and imperfect progress is always going to beat perfect planning on your fitness journey. So if you're thinking, I can't commit because XYZ, just focus on controlling the things that you can, because bottom line, your health is underlying everything else that you do. And funnily enough, when you start working on your health, when you start controlling the controllables, everything outside of that will get better. So just focus on doing what you can. Again, accept what you can't, and that's all you can really do. And one day you might not have that choice. You might have a health scare that comes up that makes you wish that you started years ago. So just something to think about. Again, it's very front of mind for me at the moment with, like, again, my own fitness journey, starting to control what I can, seeing that the results are there. The conditions definitely aren't perfect, but I'm just doing what I can. And that's what I'm trying to get across to other people, to my clients, and then to other people as well, that you don't need the perfect conditions. Rarely are they ever going to be there. So just do what you can, focus on controlling the controllables, and you can still make progress. So I hope this helped. Again, I feel like I'm getting more into a consistent routine with the YouTube now, and it's just nice just to talk longer form. And now that my whole story, again, now that it's out there, it's so much easier to kind of get my story across into these videos. So yeah, I mean, if it resonated, leave a comment. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to take this channel, but yeah, subscribe to see more videos like this. Drop a like if it helped. And a quick note, if you are a woman on a fat loss journey, you're wanting to make changes with your fitness, you know that that right time isn't ever going to come, and you want to have a quick chat about how things could look for you, how a plan could work in your life, then I'll leave a link to a form in the description. Just fill that out and we can have a quick chat about how things could look. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one.